J.J. Watt is going to have a very exciting spring, a very exciting February and March, because the Texans did, in fact, do him the ultimate solid in favor of just releasing him, which leads me to believe, which leads me to my next question. Why? I know it's the classy thing to do. The whole point is you don't have any draft choices, significant first and second round anymore because of what just happened. Why don't you even try to trade him? Why don't you call him up and say, where do you want to go? Now, I know that doesn't give you much leverage to say to the Steelers, we want a third, we want a fourth, we want a fifth. I guess you don't want to even put JJ even through that for a second. Just something for the effort. I mean, how do you not trade him? How do you get nothing for him? And part of that, I think, comes from, look, I understand it would be the business of the NFL and whatever. Even if you just get a fifth, fifths turn into Richard Sherman's. Sixths turn into Tom Brady. Sevenths turn into Julian Edelman. I mean, what is the other? Like, JJ Watt? You just release a 3-time player of the year because he asks for it, and you could say, yes, that's a very classy gesture. And then that also leads to another question that comes from within the house. Why not Deshaun Watson then? Well, that's a totally different story. Quarterback, he's young, and JJ's 31. But you don't think Deshaun Watson's sitting at home saying, okay, so JJ says he doesn't want to be here anymore because it's clear, the writing is on the wall, that we are in a full rebuild mode. And JJ wants to win in his closing window. Deshaun has put a ton out there as well. Yeah, he didn't raise $50 million or $100 million for Houston in a hurricane, but he then, in a hurricane, also donated his game check, his first professional game check, to people he had just met. I guess, is this kind of a way of the Texans to say to the fan base, who is going to either have a front row seat to one of the ugliest holdouts the NFL has seen in quite some time, or a front row seat to the trading away of Deshaun Watson, which may be and will be or would be highly unpopular, and the crowd would be howling in anger as the Texans, like Coach Dale and Hoosiers, wave the leather satchel with the game plan in it, saying, we have a plan. Our guys are on the floor. Yes, there's only 4 figurative players on the floor, but I have a plan. And that plan is enough draft choices to stock us Herschel Walker times Ricky Williams. Is this a way to basically say we are doing this for your favorite son for the last decade? We get it. You don't think we get it with Deshaun, but we get it. Deshaun, to his credit, first class all the way, tweeting out congratulations to J.J. Watt. I mean, just a tweet on the screen, just being first class all the way. Salute to one of the greatest of all time. I appreciate you for all the work you put in, and more importantly, the person you are. Any team in the league will be better the day you out on their jersey. One love, my brother, more glory. And the Texans, no doubt, might be sitting there, if they are watching the Rich Eisen Show. We say thank you for having Peacock, or if you're listening, we appreciate you listening. Hey, do we not get any credit? How about a little something for the effort here that we just released J.J. Watt? We just did the classy thing. Absolutely. You didn't put J.J. Watt through the, hold on a second, J.J. Let's at least see if we could get something for you. Which is what I still can't believe they just got 0.0 for him. And
not even a fifth?
No, honestly. So Deshaun Watson has to stay, and DeAndre Hopkins goes for a second, and a running back who clearly is not what he used to be anymore, and J.J. Watt goes for nothing. But they do get, yes, a very high-class gesture, laurel and a hearty handshake, to use the Blazing Saddles phrase. But what about Deshaun? Cal McNair, the CEO of the Texans, has been making some rounds this morning, calling up some of the reporters and movers and shakers in the business. My colleague, Ian Rappaport, from the NFL Media Group, spoke with Cal McNair. Adam Schefter spoke with Cal McNair and put a quote up on his Twitter account saying, because he asked him about Deshaun, and he said, essentially, now's not the time to talk about the front office. I'm just here to talk about the past. Flipping the McGuire on its head. I'm just here to talk about J.J. Watt. Today's J.J.'s day. The front office is for another time, except for the fact that the front office was put out front and center for the, whole world to ask about when David Culley and Nick Caserio made their introductory press conference for Culley, and nobody was there to answer questions about the front office. So this maneuver is only going to be asking questions about that if you are making yourself available for the first time. He said, McNair, that there's a lot of misinformation out there involving Deshaun Watson, and that he's a Texan and they expect him to be there. Oh, my word. So Deshaun Watson wakes up today, finds out that J.J. Watt says, yeah, you can just go. There, yeah, you want out, you can go. And Watson's like, I've asked out, and I got a no-trade clause. I'm trying to work with you here, even though I refuse to take your calls. And there is a lot of misinformation out there, and maybe we are unfamiliar with a lot of the territory here, and I get it. But right now, the PR game is being lost in Houston, and what is going to be lost amongst all of the good gesture and goodwill for J.J. Watt is what about for? And it's only going to get worse when J.J. Watt shows up somewhere smiling, holding up a new jersey. Like, that will be part of the backdrop as Watson is trying to get his exit visas more, and if the Texans don't trade him, it's only going to get worse and worse and worse. Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.